Hello guys, so yeah, I got another idea for what or more like a fanfic. Yeah, I gotten a lot of ideas since back then, back before I came back here. So anyway, continuing on, welcome to a series that I'm just gonna be calling, which I'm gonna be calling IS, or Infinite Stratos, A Age of New Warfare. And it's basically a fanfic where, essentially, if Shar Aznable was reincarnated into the world of of Infinite Stratos, and more specifically, maybe about um a few years before, or at least a few years um or like maybe about 3 years before the IS is ever made, as he would be somewhat about like Ichika's age, I think. I'm not exactly sure yet, but the more or less it's gonna take place in after Giren's Greed, or more specifically, I recently started watching like a series about Giren's Greed, and I'm more specifically talking about the timeline, or at least the timeline that I watched about, well, the Sazabi basically being made and him basically being defeated by Amuro Ray. But in this timeline, Amuro Ray also gets sacrificed himself to defeat Char, leading to, well, everything else in like Zeta Gundam, which I never watched yet, which I am planning to, but more or less it happens similar to that. And if you're wondering why I picked the Sinanju for the I guess you could say for the thumbnail, honestly, I love the Sinanju. I absolutely love the concept of it, basically being a suit made by Anaheim Electronics to basically be bait for the Xeon remnants known as the sleeves. And god damn did the sleeves upgraded it. I love it. Anyway, let us start this first episode of Infinite Stratos, A New Age of Warfare. As we go to the perspective of a now sort of dead Char Aznable, or should I say, Cosmo Rem, should I say Cosmo Rem Zaikun, or Daikun it meant, the son of Zeonzom Daikun. Honestly, it's still confusing to try and call him by that name, since I usually just call him Char, or Char Aznable. Anyway, continuing on, as he's currently in the void, almost like he's in a frozen hellscape, only to his thoughts to him, and only his thoughts to keep him company, as he would say this to himself. What is this? Why can't I feel anything? Damn it! Why can't I? As before he can say anything else, he would open his eyes and would wake up. As he opens his eyes, he would be in a white room, as he feels like his body is smaller. As he would look towards a person, in this case what seems to be a nurse. Ma'am, your child here. As saying this, she would grab onto the kid. I would say, oh, so you're finally here. As she would say, as she would grab onto the boy, as she would say, so you're finally what came out of me. Finally, as she would wipe a bit of the, well, fluids from his face, as he would realize he was reborn. Years later, several years later, as he's now currently 10 years old, he is no longer known as Shar Asnaval. He is now known as Vince. Vince Asnable. Honestly, it's quite confusing for him to have the last name of his past life. But either way, he's currently now living in what seems to be a simple junkyard. In fact, it's pretty much mostly just him helping his, I guess you can say his so-called father, which is his adopted father. Not really adopted, more like stepfather, as he's busy mostly taking up garbage and storing them into piles, like scrap, more scrap, and other such things. Due to this, he gains several cuts on his arm and fingers, and so he usually bandages it all up. After all, they're quite poor to ever get gloves, as while doing so, he would hear, "Ah, brother!" As he would look over and would see his, well, younger brother. His name is James Asnable. Though he's, well, I'm just gonna say it out loud, but he's paraplegic. You see, he was a part of an accident. When his dad, or should I say stepdad, was like busy at the time, it he sort of accidentally let the kid go out of his hands, and so it led to the kid, well, getting hit in the back by some power tools that led to him basically no longer being able to use his lower half. So yeah, he's currently now in a wheelchair. As you would say, James, what are you doing here? As you would say, oh, sorry, brother. I really wanted to help you out and stuff. As you say, but your legs. As after saying that, you would say, hey, just because I don't have the ability to use my legs doesn't mean, as you'd say, no excuses. Besides, I'm the older brother, he would say, as he would bring his little brother somewhere else, somewhere much more safer. Currently, as of currently, he would see his mother reacting to the news, specifically towards the creation of the IS. Seeing this machine, it reminded him of a mobile suit, but lighter, smaller, and in fact a bit more efficient in his eyes, especially since it looks a lot less bulky. But at the same time, there's a bit of a problem. It's only able to be used by girls, which surprised him at first, but at the same time intrigued him. After all, what would happen if a boy would try to use it? I mean, from what the news has been told, that the machines can only be piloted by women. For him, it seems like a challenge. But for now, since he's still 10, he'll just have to wait and see. Several years later, as we currently see him now somewhat older and a lot more, well, Char-like. What do I mean by this? Well, he sort of has, oh, I'm just gonna say it. He essentially has all of his new type abilities back, or at least somewhat. Though he is able to basically see into the future a bit and intimidate so many people that it's almost to the point that they call him the devil child, in fact. but nobody ever tries to attack him all that much since, well, let's just say he's able to beat their asses. Probably due to him training all the time, especially when one time his brother was being bullied at school, and so led to him nearly killing the bullies. Yeah. As of now, as while learning about also a bit of researching about of the of the IS cores, he would decide to try and make his own. Well, not technically. He plans on recreating a mobile suit, but for now he needs to get the parts, and that's gonna be the tough part. Months go by as he's busy gathering all of the parts that he needs to make his own version of a Gundam, or a mobile suit, or at least something resembling one. After all, he wants to feel that again. He wants to feel the speed, the power that he used to have. But since this world is a lot less, well, warmongering and stuff, and since it doesn't like, since the Earth is the only planet that they ever colonized as of now, yeah, let's just say he's just gonna do this because he wants to. As of current times, wait for a second. As of current times, he's currently busy making a suit, or a mobile suit, for now to help him in the farm. Not farm, but more like in the scrapyard. As he uses as we see him making a somewhat mobile suit looking design. For now, he just calls it the Desperado, as it is just going to help him in simple work in the scrapyard. It's quite, well, more or less it just looks scrapped apart, or should I say, like, like homemade in a way, like easily seen, like easily seen mold lines, or should I say, like, forged lines. I don't know the term for it, but easily seen joints, and it's quite industrialized because he doesn't have a Monopsky a Monopsky engine, or a and since he doesn't have a nuclear powered engine, and not at all anything similar to that, instead he decided to use something different, deciding to base it off the IS core, or at least somewhat, in a somewhat much more manageable sense. He uses something similar to that of the CMS 328 Desperado, which was, let me just double check, was in Mobile Suit Gundam Age, or AGE. But in this case, well, it's a lot more scrapped together, almost made hastily, and looks like a prototype. So it uses a similar engine to it, more specifically a hydrogen engine. As he would say this to himself, not bad, though I do wonder if I can try and weaponize it, but I don't really have any weapons for now. As after saying that, he would start connecting some of the items together. In this case, making a heat shovel that is specifically used for carrying heavy objects in the scrapyard. And so, after finally making it, he would say this to himself: This will just be only the beginning. And so we'll be ending off this episode right off here, guys. So yeah, bye bye.